Okay. Meeting is locked and you're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, it is 6:01. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We'll ask those who can to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This time I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda with 2 amendments. Under new business, I'd like to add item I for the Wall of Honor. And under the closed session, I'd like to add 8 new hires. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda with the additions.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Kelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Comments from the public? No? All right, then we will move into our special appearances, and we have Joel Mulford and Heather Rank Pine Tech.
No, it's just Dr. Mulford.
Oh,
for tonight.
sorry.
So just right here. Yeah, stand. Yeah, right
There, if
there.
I could, I'm gonna pass around a little bit of information.
Here, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. First of all, thanks for allowing me a few moments to come over and speak about I think, an exciting opportunity for the graduates of Siren High School. But I'll back up for a second. So as introduced, my name is Joe Mulford. I'm the president of Pine Technical Community College. I've been the president over there since 2015. And a little bit about Pine Tech or Pine Technical Community College. We're one of 24 two-year schools and 7 universities in the Minnesota State College system. So we're a unique system in Minnesota. We're all under one umbrella. And we've been there for roughly 60 years. So maybe people here have been there or toured or even attended there. But one of the things that we've been recognized for in the last few years is some of this unique scholarship programming that we have. And your neighbors to the south, Frederick and Luck, have been involved with the Franzen Scholarship Program. There's been a lot of media around that, as well as a couple of schools across the river in Pine City, Bram, and Rush City. And so we started a similar program called the Kickstart Scholarship Program, which we're able to extend now to the graduates of Siren High School starting this year. And so the scholarship program that I wanted to share some information about is really, it's referred to as a last payer scholarship. So students that are interested in taking us up on the opportunity would apply for federal financial aid and apply any state or federal grants that they might receive. And then after that, the rest of the gap would be closed, making the tuition and fees free or at no cost. And then we also, to supplement that, we provide $1,000 through our foundation for book supplies, could be tools if they're a welding program, something similar to that. So I wanted to come over and share that information with you. Hopefully we can help get the word out. I think we've had, historically, we get 1 or 2 probably kids a year. I think I had them pull the data for the last 4 years, and it looked like maybe 1 or 2 students a year. We get a few working adults from the community also that take courses over there at our college, and so we're excited to have them. I was talking on a quick tour that we did. Some of the things that we're also known, our history is we're really focused on technical education, so programs like gunsmithing. We have the RN, LPN program, automation, welding, automotive technology, applied engineering, machine tooling, a lot of those manufacturing healthcare programs that are in high demand in this area across West Central or East Central Minnesota as well. So the process is as easy as it gets. If you, on this brochure, if you were to look in here, it would be the center page, right in the center is the Kickstart program. It gives you a little bit more information on there as far as to be eligible for it. It would require a family to be in that 80,000, below 80,000 adjusted gross income, which for West Central Wisconsin, East Central Minnesota covers quite a few of our households. So many students can take advantage of that. The application process generally includes filling out about a 5-minute application. Name, address, just verifying that they're eligible for that. There's more things that students need to do. One of the things I like to talk to, especially with school boards and other educators, there's a lot of components built into this that we ask that students don't take a gap year, don't take a semester off, that they start the semester following their graduation, which is in our mind fall. Some students can come in the summer right after graduation. They do need to maintain a 12 credits per semester, which kind of considers them in a full-time load, although that's not a heavy full-time load. And it does apply to all the programs that we have at the college. So they'd be able to choose what they want. And like I said, it's something that we meet with students. A lot of it is, the important part is obviously getting them to graduate, not just start school. Our concern, especially across some of our rural communities, is getting more students to engage in it. We think the scholarship opportunity has made a difference in the communities where we've had it. We're seeing more students take advantage of it. We know those students that graduate tend to stay in the community, or at least in the region. And so that's really important for our economic development, workforce development, that we get people educated. So happy to answer any questions, or
Is there a max number of participants in the program?
there is not.
Okay.
We'll take every one of them. If they want to come, we will make it work. One of the reasons we were able to fund this is our foundation has had very strong support, and the state of Minnesota recently has implemented a scholarship program through its legislative funding, which has taken some pressure off some private dollars, and we've been able to spread those private dollars out into expanding some of the other existing programs we've got. So
if they receive grants or tuition assistance or anything else, and does that affect their chances to get a scholarship at all?
the only thing that it would not, so if they had, veterans benefits or something like that, that would not work against them in this case. What's going to be applied is only state or federal, so they would go through that process, they would get that, and then whatever remainder of the op is closed to them. If they have another scholarship from the Lions Club, if they have some other benefits that are eligible for them, that goes in after that.
Wow.
Yes. So like I said, hopefully students will be interested in taking advantage of it. We can do it, and I know our staff are coming over and working with some of yours on that. So.
Mhm.
All right.
Great. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Let me guess.
Jamie, are you introducing the next?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to introduce the class of 2024's valedictorian and family. So tonight we have Ethan Rude. He is the son of John and Stacy Rude. So congrats. Yes. All right, and then our class of 2024 salutatorian is Grace Mangleson, and she is the daughter of Jake Mangleson and Holly and Steve Torbenson. Tonight, she is accompanied by her grandmother, Karen Mangleson. Congratulations, Grace.
Wait, look at me. I can get pictures of me.
Oh.
I got you.
All right, also with us tonight is our Technical Excellence Scholarship recipient, Sydney Miller. She is the daughter of Laura Miller. Congratulations.
I know.
Congrats, Sydney.
I can't even see you.
Oh, I am. All right, and then our Cole Initiative Scholarship recipient, it's Priscilla Shabayish. If you would like to stand up, please. Is accompanied by Trish Needham Barnes and Desiree Otto. So congratulations, Priscilla. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Congrats, Priscilla.
Yes, thank you, Priscilla. Congrats. Make sure you get your picture before you go. And then you guys are all free to go. Stay for the rest of our. Thank you. Thank you all.
What are the two, the tech excellence ones in the full initiative.
Like, how much are they?
Yeah, like what do they?
Whole initiative, we only can give out every 4 or 6 years, I think, like we get selected to give it out.
Okay,
And it's like $10,000.
okay,
All right, thanks.
The excellence is every year and it's 250 a year for up to 6 years.
Okay.
For sure they already got. I think so. Okay.
okay.
22.
And it's for a technical
Yes, so the
program.
tech excellence, they have to be going into a technical program.
Okay, and the goals could be anything?
The whole initiative can be anything, and it's based on like overcoming.
Okay.
Is that the one that comes from the school district? No, it's like the whole.
Nicole Foundation.
So Cindy, I thought Cindy was going to Revolve. She switched to tech or she
Yeah, she's
wanted
going to tech.
in Revolve?
No.
Okay, she must have switched last time I talked to her a while ago.
Excellent.
All right. So we'll move on to the accepting of donations.
Make a motion to accept the $500 from Connie for the lunch program.
I'll second that.
You have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Katie to accept the $500 donation from Connie Virchow for the lunch program.
Did we ever get a notification thing from Tiffany where we're sitting with that? Didn't we ask about it a couple meetings ago?
I think in passing, we did ask how that was going.
What did you want?
How much money is still past due from prior years?
Since we're now free lunches.
Oh, okay,
And she
Yeah.
may have said, you
I
may
didn't-
have, I just don't remember what it was.
I didn't have it as to do.
No,
And-
that's fine. I saw it.
I'm assuming that's what this is being applied to. Is that correct?
Or milk, the stuff that people are paying for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
For extras.
I'll find that out. I'll have a
Okay.
budget and finance.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Sorry, Steve.
Steve, you're not sorry.
He's delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, treasurer's report, January.
You want a motion to accept it? Make a motion to accept the January treasurer's report.
Second.
I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Tom. Any discussion?
Did we do a motion to accept the money from? Connie? I didn't
Yes.
hear who first did say so sorry.
Jamie and Katie?
I'm in a different spot. Okay, sorry about that.
So now Katie and Tom.
Katie and Tom, thank you.
Okay, so. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. February. I keep forgetting that it takes a minute for him.
I'll make a motion to accept the February.
I'll second that.
You have a motion by Kelly, seconded by Katie to approve the February treasurer's report. Any discussion?
I just want to comment, if you look at the two reports, you see where it's trending?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still
negative
looking.
versus positive?
Yes, yes, I do see
Okay,
that.
I just want to make
Yay.
you aware of that. So that's what happens when distribution is held and it's changing now. And so now it's starting to trend differently.
So let me ask, where's the money coming from right now? Is it the taxes or is it,
For February, it wasn't.
it was taxes? Okay.
What usually happens, we keep, are we?
Yeah, I just
trending
wanted
up
to
a
give-
little bit, or we?
Well, what I wanted to say is I give you an idea if it goes really bad
Yeah.
because there's a drought. And typically we short-term borrow, but if that's exceeded, then there is more of a drought. And then all of a sudden you start to get your
Yeah.
reimbursements. And that's why we put that policy through to.
Right, we're gonna be talking about
Hopefully-
that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Balance it out a bit.
right now, we're positive as of the end of February.
Mhm.
When will, but not by a lot, do you know what I'm saying? So when will aid start coming in?
We get one next Monday.
Okay. Okay, so that makes me feel better to know that there's something coming.
The beginning of April, there will be money coming in from grants, effective grant.
Okay, great. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I can't tell these.
Motion carries. President's report and correspondence. I have no correspondence today. I just want to say it's been nice to be here with y'all. This will be my last regular meeting.
I'll beat you up.
So we will move to committee chair reports. Budget, finance and personnel, we met and we have several items that will be on the agenda later, so we'll discuss those there. Building and ground.
Yep, so we had some discussions on the gym floors and figuring out this for the summer, what we're gonna need. So we're working on some quotes. And then we did a walk around for looking at the playground. Bringing some more ideas together before we start that meeting process with those designers.
Great. And policy planning. We also met, and I believe we also have some policies that we'll be voting on later. So we will then go to Dr. Shetler.
Okay, so a couple of things, just one that's not on there, I just wanted to, I sent an email to staff, I don't know if anybody had attention to attend the production, but I just wanted to say thanks to all the staff, students, and community members who participated in the wonderful performance of Mary Poppins this weekend. And I wrote this to staff, but you guys have a copy of it. I had the opportunity to attend Saturday, truly enjoyable and well-rehearsed presentation. Obviously, it was just, it was a 3-hour event, but it went fast. I mean, it was really entertaining. It was,
They did a great job.
it makes me wonder, people come together for the community like that and they love it and they attend the school, they love the school, but then sometimes when you have needs and you ask the community, it's not the same. So it's kind of a paradox. So.
Yeah, I also attended, I attended Friday night to the opening performance and I thought it was exceptionally well.
They did great this year.
So then the next item then, we did receive a significant grant.
Yeah.
In excess of $300,000 there.
300,
For the sake of,
295. Yeah.
privacy, I'm not gonna mention the writers of the grant, and I'll tell you why in closed session.
Okay.
But, I don't know if Jane, Ms. Campbell, if you wanna mention anything about this grant, we use it to fund,
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. What
What are
exactly
we
does
gonna
this
use it
grant?
for?
Is it- Go back one step. Is this a recurring, is this a grant we've had in the past?
No, it's
Okay.
brand new. We're very excited about it. It is for the next 2 years, so February 1st of this year through September 30th of 2026. So the 295 is divided up over the 2 years.
Okay.
There's 3 SMART goals. The first is decreasing middle and high school students that are at risk of dropping out. And sometimes those at risk, even if we're not looking at high dropout numbers, just the at risk is like, absentee rates or low test scores or low grades, those types of things. And we have very specific SMART goals in terms of numbers. And then secondly is increasing the number of our high school students that report that most of the time that they are getting their emotional support when they need it, when they feel that they need it. And then decreasing the number of our students that are experiencing significant anxiety at the middle and high school level.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to do with having more social,
Mental
emotional
health.
learning, mental health. So our budget narrative, a lot of this is going to be helping to maintain and pay for our full-time student engagement facilitators position over here, which is currently John Tidman. It's also going to help to pay and to help implement for both Tidman and administrators to look into restorative practices district-wide. It's also going to help us get a part-time mental health navigator in the building. And then it's also going to help to provide mental health services by mental health professionals in the building. So we're super excited about all those pieces.
And it's a 2-year grant and then there's opportunity to continue it on beyond that.
I hope so.
Okay.
Is this a new funding source or is it just the first time we've applied and got it?
It's a new grant this
Like
year.
complete, like.
it's through the Department of Public Instruction, and I gotta be honest, I just took her thunder because the letter was addressed to me. Run through this, so,
Oh,
she was very instrumental in this too, and we'll talk a little bit close.
Yeah.
about-
okay.
Awesome. Well, congrats to the school
Yeah, to you.
and the grant writers.
So, and then the other one, this is just informational, the referendum history in here, just to information to the board members, because we're gonna be talking about this. Obviously, we have a survey coming out. The operating referendums that are going on in the state are, I think, in record numbers, they're saying. So it's just because, and we talked about this over and over again, the funding that we receive doesn't match inflation, and that's really the bottom line. And so, and the other piece to that, and we talk about this all the time as our administrators, like on paper, sometimes we look like we're staff heavy. But what's happening is the behaviors that we're seeing, they're not consistent with behaviors that happened 10, even 20 years ago. And it takes multiple, I mean, these guys have gone on for a long time about what they do on a regular basis. And if you, like I said, you heard the walkie talkies, the way it works, it just, there's a lot of student need. And so that's kind of where we are right now. And then the final piece there is I just put an article I thought you'd be interested in. I don't know if you saw it in Sentinel.
Mhm.
It was the teacher pay pitfalls. I thought that'd be interesting because that's obviously, you know, something we're addressing as we're gonna have some retirements coming and we'll be hiring new people. I think, I think if these guys can, Perry and Jamie can reiterate, we're in the ballpark now because we made that change to the
Mhm.
salary schedule, our starting wage. We're actually in the ballpark now. I mean, we feel like even if we make an offer and they get something a little bit more, we're still in the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the article I feel is somewhat misleading
Yeah.
because it doesn't show, like it might show this school is paying a lot more for an average, but it
Yeah.
might be because all their teachers are 20-year
That's
teachers.
where we're
where
at.
this-
Yeah.
And
That's where
the
we're
same
at.
with the benefits.
Yeah.
So the benefits, it doesn't really, because it doesn't show that we're in a consortium, so our healthcare is staying down. So our healthcare costs may be less than someone who's not in the consortium, who's paying a 30% healthcare increase. So
Yeah.
without
prior
any
to the
explanation,
consortium-
those numbers really don't mean
But we
anything.
were scrambling prior to this consortium. I mean,
Oh, I
we
agree.
were almost, I mean, we were in serious trouble. You know, 50% increase in your health insurance. and
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. When you see the
Yeah.
benefits and it says like we pay, I don't know, whatever it said, the average is 25 and this school's paying 29. It may simply be that that school district has to pay that much higher health insurance
Yeah,
premiums.
we
It's
don't
not
know
that their
what's-
people are necessarily getting anything more than our people are
But I
getting,
do
'cause it
like
didn't
that
break it
they-
out.
They did include those fringe benefits, which
Yes.
is huge to put both of those pieces together as a total compensation. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Shetler? Mrs. Herman, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. AGR, first of all, it is our mid-year AGR review where we have staff K through 2 put in their data and report out. And as I look through the data, we've got some work to do to finish up this year. We are looking pretty good in kindergarten. 58% of the students have met the mid-year benchmark. At grade 1 and that was reading, sorry. Grade 1 reading, the students, 70% of them have met the benchmark. And then as I look at second grade math, 56% have met the benchmark. And then third grade math, 61% have met it. So we've got some room to grow, but it's only, when they did this, it was mid-year, so halfway through the year. Any questions on AGR?
Can you remind me what AGR stands for?
Achievement Gap Reduction. It's the class size reduction.
Okay.
So overall, like you gave for kindergarten, you talked about, was it reading? And then the other grades you flipped to math?
I looked at first grade, I talked about reading, and then I flipped to math in second and third grade just because we're doing our new math program. So just trying to get a little bit of each of them.
What are the reading, like what are the opposite? Like what does math look like for those other grades? And then what does the reading look like for the grades that you talked about math?
So about 75 to 80% of the kindergartners are at benchmark in math. Grade 1, I have 75% have met the benchmark in math. And then opposite in second grade for reading, I have 48% that have met reading. And then third grade reading, I have 52% have met the benchmark.
Thank you, Carrie.
And then our masked reader event was highly attended. It was a great event. teachers did a great job of planning and executing such a fun time. We fed 121 people that night, including our staff. We heard great things overall about the event, the masked reader unveiling, the Facebook posts with the masked reader. The kids were really funny. They were trying to figure out who they all were, who everyone was. So they'd come up to us and ask us, like, do you have fingernail polish on? And then if you said, no, oh, you're not the horse. Okay, never mind. So they were trying to find all kinds of clues they could to find out who it was, but it was very fun. So I think it's something we would probably try and do in the future too. So.
And Carrie, do you know how many people actually attended? Was there any kind of?
Yes. Yeah.
No, that's how many,
Well-
there was more people than that, because like we didn't eat, we all
Yeah,
left.
I guess I didn't eat either.
Yeah. And our numbers got a little funny, and that's why we went by who we fed, because not everyone signed in either. But we had around 148 that actually signed in.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I just knew that we didn't eat and
attendance.
they didn't eat, and
It was a really good event.
it was a really nice event, yeah.
Yeah.
Great participation.
Kids
Yes,
enjoyed it.
thank you.
You weren't there. Chris was there, right?
Yeah, I had to work.
Okay. All right, so.
Well, I had a lot of stuff in special appearances, so,
Okay, well, let you have a little bye.
yeah, so, I just wanted to kind of give, a special shout out to Rachel McNally and Mr. B. We had received, kind of an email kudos, for them from an area business. We had a high school student that was definitely at risk and struggling, with school in general, but showed a lot of interest in our tech ed, courses and, had a connection with Mr. B. So he reached out to Miss McNally about getting in contact with some area businesses that did manufacturing, and so she reached out to some connections there and actually got him an interview for a job at one of the area businesses, and they reached out and sent an email back and just said, this is why I rave about Siren Schools all the time. You guys just care so much and work so hard to get these kids set up for success, and we really appreciate you. So I just wanted to share that.
Great. Congratulate Mr. B on that. That's a good win. All right. Yes.
Just, want to know where we're at for, contracts as far as, I know last year we had a lot of students that we had to enter into contracts with to keep them from being expelled. Are we having a greater number of contracts this year or less?
We are definitely less.
Just, we haven't heard anything for a couple months, so I just was wondering where we were at with
We're
that.
definitely less. Far
Excellent.
less,
Good.
They only have one this year.
yeah. We notified.
Mhm.
I had the one.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
But I will tell you, historically, we have like a really bad year. And then we'll have a couple of really good years. And then it's like they forget, and then you have a bad year again.
Mhm.
And it just cycles with the high school students. As new kids come in, they don't have the memory of what happened a couple of years ago, and then they think they can get away with things again. So you'll see historically, this is a good year. Next year should still be pretty good, but then you might see them start going up again. And Denise.
Me, so this, we were continuing ACT, but our juniors in the special ed with accommodations are all finished with their ACTs. So we're very happy about that. Pre-ACT accommodations are entered. We start that tomorrow. That would be for our freshmen and sophomores. And our diagnostic learning maps, which is our alternate assessment, open today. We have 2 students who will be participating in the alternate assessment, and Ms. Benson and I will be kind of tag teaming to make sure both of those get completed.
Great. Any questions? All right, then. Tara.
Hello. I just have a Sugar Bush update, which is that we didn't have a Sugar Bush this year. But Mrs. Tinman's class was able to get a couple gallons and attempted to boil it down in her room. Tanya and I came in and talked about just the importance to the Ojibwe people and kind of the history of Sugar Bush. But they burnt the sap. So the kids weren't able to have some of the stuff that they boiled down.
She said. Burnt.
Yep, they did get a little taste, and then
Okay, little taste.
Mrs. DeJock brought in some maple sugar for them to try.
Oh, that was
So-
nice.
Yep, so we were still able to respect our cultural traditions and let the kids, try some of our delicious maple sugar. So that is all I have. If anybody has questions.
Why didn't we tap? Is it because Miss Moritz usually does it and she's not here, or just because of the weird wonky spring winter weather we're having?
Yeah, it was the weather. A lot of our elders suggested that we don't tap this year. And so we felt with what we were doing, trying to tie in Ojibwe culture, it was best not to do that.
Gotcha. I hadn't heard that the elders had said that, but that makes sense. Thanks, Tara.
Anything? Yep.
You know, okay. Thank you, Tara. Okay, we will move on to the approval of the minutes from the February 19th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the February minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry, Steve. Motion passes. We will move into new business with the school calendar.
Well, just to recap, you guys had asked, I believe it was policy had asked us to go back and extend the time of the day so that we can get out earlier.
Oh. Extended.
And then I'll let Jamie take a little bit of that from there, but I think you guys didn't want us to continue going to use that.
Well, that was pretty much my personal opinion, was that we've always been out by the 1st of June, so I kind of wanted to see what that would look like. So if you see the one that says extended day on it, that one would get us out at the end of May. They added 6 minutes per day to the instruction time. Or the original calendar the staff brought forward is also there for you to look at, and it does go until June 6th. So we just need to,
So the only thing, like I said, with the extended day is one, it takes away 2 of the early releases. So there's only 3 early releases as well, as opposed to 5. And it puts us at the exact state minimum. So we are 0.0 minutes over, meaning if we have early releases or late starts, we will have to add a day at the end. Now, if we have a full day off, we can have those virtual and they count as an instructional day. But we can't do virtual on an early release or a late start. Now, if we have, an early, like if we have 4 early releases or whatever, and it counts, we only might need to add 1 day, but it depends on the minutes. So we just need to keep that in mind. So I
So
don't
what
want
I'm hearing, if we have a questionable weather day, let's just call it off. the
right.
whole
So
day.
it's kind of like.
right, that's what I'm saying too.
It's
So
all
the individual who's in charge of that should do a full day instead of
Yeah, so
that's
your call.
yeah.
Is that what we're saying? No, I'm not saying who's doing it. I'm just saying.
I would say rather than do a late start, you would do a whole day off, because that, otherwise we have to make it up.
This question,
But-
like, you come in late and then sometimes there's weather later anyways, so it's like that.
Yeah, and in the old days, we used to do it like that so we could save time, but now with the virtual learning, it just
Yeah.
changes things. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
And we were counting for years, we put in like 5 or 6 snow days, and then we were just changing the end of school anyway, so it was silly to put them in there because we're not using them.
Right.
The elementary and the middle school are not an issue because they're required to attend less hours.
Right.
Because we no longer have days of instruction, we have minutes now.
Middle school too, or just elementary?
That's elementary, but that does put the elementary at 6.8 days over. So
Right.
if we were to have an insane winter,
And we had 6 snow days, the high school and middle school could do virtual and elementary could be off and it wouldn't hurt a thing.
Right, but if we were to have 10 days, the elementary would have to also have.
Correct, makeup days or
Or makeup
something, yeah.
days, right.
Have we thought about going a little bit earlier, like starting at 8:05?
Well, all research states that 8:10 is already too early for
Yeah.
high school grades, but.
I was just curious. I honestly thought they started at 8:05. I
Oh.
let the kids
That's
start
why I struggled
earlier.
nights when we started 7:30, so.
Yeah, we
I don't know,
started
but I did
7:25.
see that there are several Twin City schools that have reversed their calendars for next year where elementary is now starting before high school because elementary kids supposedly wake up ready to go where high school kids drag.
That's how
My nephews down in Chippewa, they start an hour earlier than the
Yeah.
high school kids.
It's mostly for busing.
Some of it's,
isn't it?
well, that's why they don't all start at the same
Same
time,
time,
but
yeah.
yeah, as far as flip flopping. So, let me ask you this, we have like a whole week off for Thanksgiving. Of course, that's too early because we aren't gonna have bad weather before Thanksgiving. We have the week off at Christmas, but we're generally not gonna have bad weather before Christmas. Is there anything saying February, we have 3 snow days, we cancel March's vacation?
We have flexibility.
I mean, right? I mean, we wouldn't necessarily have to extend the year. We might just have
No,
to
Yeah,
play with the days.
that would have to be a board
Right.
approved.
But people do book vacations.
Yeah, I think most
so
people
I think
enjoying
people
the
book
spring
their
break.
vacation whenever they want from the schedules that I see and the number of kids that are out for a week, not during the vacation time.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, staff.
but don't you think that that's gonna be a trend towards we're getting used to having spring break and more people are going to look at booking it
Well,
during
I'm
that
like,
time frame?
no, I'm pulling my kids out of school next year and it's a Wednesday to Wednesday in February.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. People
Because I can't afford-
plan their vacations when they get their vacations.
Oh,
Anyway, these are our 2 options.
I have concerns as far as the after-school meetings go,
Yeah.
because we struggle to get staff to stay as long as they need to for IEP meetings anyway. Legally, they have to be here. But even now, if we start at 3:30, by 4:00, they have to go let the dog out, they have to go coach, they have to go something instead of staying at these meetings. So I struggle with that if DPI were to come in and all of a sudden now my teachers, the regular ed teachers aren't staying part of it.
but isn't that gonna be no matter what time?
Yeah.
If they're done at 3:25.
I mean, 6 minutes isn't gonna make a difference in that. I'm sorry, it's not.
3:31, they're still gonna be out at the field right away.
Well, we can't start meetings now until 3:35 or 3:40, getting out at 3:31.
But if you get done at 3:25, the coaches are still gonna be out on that football field right
By 4
after
o'clock.
school's done.
No,
Well,
by
that-
4:00.
they're
If we have a coach, they have to be
Figure it
at that meeting because practice does not start until 4.
Really? So they're just out there early.
Well, depending on if they have a meeting or not, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
And who are most of your meetings? Are they evenly split amongst elementary versus high school teachers, middle school teachers?
The elementary teachers are usually really good about it. It's the middle school, high school teachers
Okay.
that we struggle with.
Because the elementary
stay
teachers
as long
aren't
as
in
they
the
should be.
extracurricular to the same point as.
Yeah.
So that's a concern from my point.
All right, so we need a motion to accept one of the
I have
calendars,
a quick question though. So
Yes.
we did put in to go early in August.
and it was denied.
It was denied?
Yes.
I thought it wasn't, but we couldn't do it because we didn't know about the boiler.
Pending boilers. So if we make this decision now and we realize we're not getting the boilers installed, we have to change our calendar at that point.
But we'll change the calendar if we do need the boilers? 'Cause we don't
Probably
know that
not.
yet. No.
We can't
I don't
start
think so.
scheduling and finalize the master schedule for next year until this is approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's,
just can't.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember where we left.
And
We did-
quite honestly, if they're gonna do playground, we're probably better to have that extra week before school starts anyway, in case some last minute thing comes up and it's not ready.
I just can't say if the boilers were. that's
Yeah,
fine.
what's the schedule on that to, no, you know?
It would be done by the end of August is the ribbon cutting on what they.
No, not the playground, how about the boilers? When are we gonna know?
We won't
when?
know until we can turn them off.
And we
They
can't
don't
do that
change it.
until it's
Yeah.
warm enough to shut
Until
it
it's warm
down.
enough to shut
Okay,
them down.
sorry, go ahead, Peggy, what were
We
you
don't
saying?
know
What,
anything.
we need a vote?
Well, we need a motion to one or the other of the calendars.
Kelly just did.
I'm sorry,
I
Kelly,
made a motion to do the extended day and get out early.
okay, I have a motion by Kelly to accept the extended day calendar. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion by Kelly, seconded by Jamie to go with the extended day calendar. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
I just don't understand it enough. I don't really get what the.
Well, go ahead.
I don't get the issue with the teachers, for one. I think that's crazy. They're adults. They should just figure it out. But like, I don't even know why that was brought up. I'm so confused why it was brought up. Like,
Oh,
I just feel like if you're a
I
teacher.
feel like if they're told they need to be in a meeting, they need to be at the meeting.
the
And that's
meetings
just the
are
bottom line.
half Hour.
Meetings are,
Most IEPs are half an hour.
So
Yeah,
the meeting's gonna start at 3:40, which now makes it till 4:10 for the meeting to be done, and there may be.
they
some
might be 10 minutes
uproar
later.
That's what-
Getting
that's
to
what
practice.
Assistant coaches are for
Yeah.
and all that other stuff we pay other people for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're paying a lot of money to different, and then we have volunteers and
right.
are they just not, are the assistant coaches and volunteers just not able to figure it out? Or they have to have the coach or whoever they're.
Obviously, you're not scheduling on game days or something like where they have to leave.
No.
So I mean, it's not like it's every day of the week. I
Right.
don't understand why. Just
Okay.
Dave said, go to the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Did I have anyone opposed?
I'm gonna oppose it. I'd
Okay.
rather have the other one.
All right.
Abstaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What
Okay.
does Steve have?
So we have, Steve, did you vote yes or no? Steve,
Now we give them a chance.
You voted yes.
you voted yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So we have 5 yeses, 1 no, and 1 abstaining.
I think we need to talk to the parents also and see what they feel about early release. I don't know. A lot of parents,
It's not an early release.
It's not,
well, I mean, you get off what, 6 days earlier? Is that what we're looking at?
we're getting out the end of May, same as every year.
Oh, then.
Yeah.
Don't forget for middle school, high school, they're going to school till 3:30
I just
instead of
under-
3:20
I
right
just
now.
understood the whole thing, because I thought we were doing extra minutes
Yeah,
to,
6 minutes longer.
So we usually start a week early in August,
okay.
but the state said we couldn't this year. So our choices are to go 6 minutes longer a
Now I
day
get it.
or go an extra week. Okay.
I
And
missed
a lot of the kids work in the summer too, and you know, they need
Oh,
those
I
3
know, I
months.
like it, the kids to work.
Okay,
They work.
let's move on. The Environmental Health and Safety Service Contract update.
Okay, so took this to Budget and Finance. We do use this service regular I've used it in 3 of the 4 districts I've been in. Couple of the things that have really, we've used they've saved our bacon. They do playground safety as well, so that's something we'll use their consulting on. Asbestos, they did advise us well when we did the building construction. Indoor air quality, I had a real serious problem at one of my other districts where a principal kept getting sick and they had indoor air quality problems, and CISA worked with us. They tested, it was great that they did that. And then they also do our chemical inventory disposal. And that's huge to have.
And we've
I
had
think-
issues with that.
I think, I don't know, maybe Amy, she's a science person, but having that in there when things maybe.
But we
aren't
got in that
great,
trouble before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need
Not
to have
having a
someone.
consultant on that specifically, I think is a problem. Environmental project waste, hazardous waste.
And we already have them. This is a renewal, not a brand.
Yeah, no, this isn't new. There's some new board members here. So, and like, for example, the kilns, when they came in, they talked about some of the kilns and some of the overhead.
Hoods.
And
Mhm.
vents that we used and things like that. So, I mean, I think they've been very good when I've used them. So
Well, if we don't have them and an issue comes up, we have to hire a consultant,
I think.
which in the end is going to
Hiring, yeah.
probably cost us more money than
Yes.
having the contract.
Definitely.
I'll make a motion to renew the contract.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Tom. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I tried to give him enough time that time.
I think it's more.
Okay,
It's just, it is.
CISA 11, shared services contract.
Okay, so this services contract that we use CISA with, we haven't added anything. We've left it the same. The only thing that came into question was the cybersecurity, because a lot of districts are having security issues with their internet and things like that. I did talk to Brandon, the director, and he said they're in the process of negotiating. The only way this will work, if we want it, we purchase it later and they'll have an addendum for us.
Okay.
They just don't have it, they don't have it ironed out.
And I'm assuming that Jessica's in on that discussion as far as,
Yeah, we talked to her and we just don't have a lot of details right now. And I did ask at our last superintendent's meeting. He's working it out right now to find out what that all entails. It's a new service.
right.
So basically, I just asked him, do we just purchase that at a later date as an addendum? Because they normally do addendum.
Correct, and we've done that in the
So
past.
that's where that's at. So there's nothing new.
Okay, so you just need a motion to approve the CISA 11 shared service
Yes.
contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the CC 11 shared contract.
I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Dave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. I know, I had to wait a long time, though, didn't I? Okay, Rutler.
Yeah, so this was basically, they would serve as our general contractor, and you can see the fee on there. I took this to budget and finance. I would just ask if the board approves this, we'd approve it pending loan approval. That's to be decided on the 20th of March.
Oh, that's very soon.
Yeah, and then he can get rolling on this
Yeah.
as soon as we.
And then I'm correct in that he will bid this out and
Yes.
local contractors will have a
Yes,
chance
yep,
to bid.
He will bid this and work that, yep.
Yeah, the bid opening,
And he
May.
did assure us that we'd be done before.
School starts.
bidding documents, May, yep.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the contract, the proposal with Rutler to begin the playground contingent upon loan approval?
I make that motion.
Second.
Do you have a motion by Katie, seconded by Kelly?
Yes.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Event concession
Aye.
sales.
Extra delayed.
He's doing it on purpose now. Okay,
Okay, so we did come back. We've drafted
No, I'm
several.
not.
go ahead,
We
Kevin.
drafted several policies of this concession sales, and it looks like the last draft here was approved by policy. I mean, it was approved by policy, but it seems to be satisfactory in terms of listing the first groups, and then you know, if they're not interested, then we open it up to outside groups. I don't know if you guys want to talk about what you
So
feel about this.
this is my understanding of this. It will be open to all the groups to sign up for whatever they want to work the concession stand. If nobody signs up, then they'll use this list. Whoever's first gets told they'll do it. They'll get at least 2 weeks' notice, and it's their job to do it. And that's just the way it's gonna be, because we have to have the concession stand open. However, should some group come forward, and we've had outside, like the hockey kids have come in and said they want to run it, or the youth softball, they can sign up for as many days as they want on that concession stand, and then we'll work from there.
Cause you said like we could sign up for wrestling.
Correct. Wrestling could sign up as well. Yes, it's a co-op sport. If they have the people to work it, all they have to do is get a hold of the scheduler and say, we want these dates. And as long as it's an authorized group, I mean, I can't go do it to get paid, obviously myself personally, but if one of those groups wanted to do it, yes. So it's an extra fundraising stuff also for some of those youth sports that don't have a lot of chances, and during their off seasons, possibly have the time to do it.
And was it just that, the only sports that were added to this list were the non-co-op sports?
Correct.
Okay.
We aren't mandating any co-op sports to do it because they don't.
But they could.
They could if they wanted to, but they don't have to because they don't necessarily use our facility.
Mhm.
So
Not listed on that.
they're not listed as a mandatory provider, but they're certainly welcome to do any they want to do.
Mhm.
So this did go to policy. Policy does recommend that we pass this tonight and get it in force for the next school year.
I make a motion to accept policy 5
I'll
or
second it.
457.
You have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Dave to accept policy 457. Any further discussion?
I just have one question, cause
Yep.
it's all, I know it's in a random order,
Mhm.
but is anyone gonna get upset that it's the same random order every single year? That they're gonna be the top of the list
Don't they move to the home?
to have?
No, wherever it ends off 1 year is where it starts next year.
It should be
Okay.
rotating.
Yeah, it's gonna rotate. It's not just every year. So it's not like whoever's
It'll be
top is
on-
gonna have to do it
It'll be
every
on
single
Okay.
year.
Sessions,
Yeah.
whatever Marcus.
I must have missed.
Down on the bottom of the list might volunteer for their 2 right off the bat.
Correct, I get that part.
No, what
And
she's
then-
saying is if,
Yep, but if they, as they go on the list, if they don't get volunteers wherever they end, that's where they're gonna start the next year when they pull the
The
first
next
one up that they're required.
Okay. Okay.
okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Policy 549 bereavement. This also went to policy. It was simply a matter of adding in-laws to the current bereavement policy. They had inadvertently been left off at one time. Policy is again recommending that we do approve policy 549 tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve policy 549.
I have a question. Should we add in foster since we're adding now? Any like foster kids, foster, or do we not go that far?
I think they're considered.
They're considered children while they're
In your
living in the
household,
home, so.
doesn't say other individuals residing in the employee's household.
In the
Okay.
household.
So I don't think that will be challenged. I don't,
Okay.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could bring it back if it ever is.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I know there's been stuff out
Yeah,
at the tribe that they've had to include foster in the verbiage.
Okay, so I have a motion by Katie,
I'll second.
seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Rule 672.2 standards of conduct in purchasing and contracting.
Okay, so as I was talking before, when we talked about budget, so we get money allocated certain times of the year, okay? And so there's a drought of flow at times, and you're seeing that now with the treasurer's report. So one of the things Laura and I talked about when we met together was like, let's coordinate purchasing with fund distribution and revenue increase or influx. So the third paragraph then says, I don't know if you want me to read it aloud, but basically it shows the timelines when we get revenue.
Mhm.
And that's September, the month of September, and February 15th through March 30th, and then the month of June. And we
So-
wanted to have some teeth with this policy because obviously we're gonna have to take it back to staff and I mean, I think we're gonna have to be diligent about this.
So basically, all we're asking is that staff do their purchasing during certain times of the year.
Yeah.
It's not that they lose any of their,
We're not cutting.
but it doesn't make sense for us to be borrowing money for supplies. It should be purchased when we have the money on hand.
And the reason we came up with this is we talked to other at least one other district, and they do this, so.
Plus it keeps us from being further than 30
Yeah.
days out on stuff and whatnot too, so.
It gives us a little more flexibility in gatekeeping too.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve rule 672.2.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Tom. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Weight room policy. So this is, I'm gonna open it up here. This also went to policy. It's basically a trial run for this summer, having the weight room open, having a paid person to make sure that it's guaranteed open during certain times. It's the weight room only, it's not the gyms. And it's restricted to staff and students that are currently enrolled in the school. And I think that there's legal liability reasons we need to do that, is not have it open to the general public.
Right.
Is there, so we've tried this before.
No,
Well, we tried something like this before.
we've never paid anyone to open
Summer
the weight room.
school, they've had.
They do it for summer school and they're going to still do it as summer school. But this is around summer
So
school.
we have to pay somebody to open it now.
And be there.
Well, if we want to guarantee the hours. So the thought was this, we do this for 1 year. We monitor how many people take part in it and use that as a decision if it's continued another year.
So are we gonna have a sign-in roster then,
Yes,
as they do it?
yes. That's the only way we'll know.
2 hours in the morning, and 2 hours in the
Our Our coach is being allowed to double dip with this. I mean, if, say, a coach wants to open it up for his players and is like, oh yeah, by the way.
They don't get paid for that when they do that. And some of the coaches have already said they may want to do that on their own time at separate times. Cause they may want to include the gym or something when they're doing it. This is weight room only. And it's not for any specific team and they can't require any specific team to go during these hours. Because that would be part of their contract.
Right,
It's only specific to the hours.
I just wanted to make sure we're clear on
Yes.
that, so that way we're not paying them twice, basically, for the same thing.
So so is Carson maintaining?
He's maintaining a roster
The R, that's supposed to be.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know, he was gonna talk to staff, and did he say anything if he's reached out if anybody's interested.
He had mentioned to me he had people
Yeah,
interested.
you came to our last meeting.
Yeah.
I know at that time he didn't have anybody. He was gonna talk, so I didn't know if he had anything.
He sounds like he has people interested.
I don't know.
So my question was, is this, because it doesn't specifically say a specific age group, is it middle school, high school only? Does it go down to third, fourth, fifth graders?
Somewhere it was over fifth grade.
Yeah, he said it was gonna be 6 and up.
It doesn't say,
Say
so
that in
some
the
other
contract.
documentation we've gotten was
Yeah.
nobody, well, there's a
So-
sign on the door right now that says fifth grade and under not to be in there.
Yeah.
You know, fifth grade and
I
under,
know.
not supposed to be in the big gym in the morning either, but.
Well, you have,
So-
yeah, in the handbook, they're not, but the one who opens it, I tell.
Tells them they can, so that's, yeah.
So I don't know what difference it, I mean, I think if he's fine, I personally am like, if he's fine with it, he's the one who's doing it, it's his liability. Maybe it just needs to be altered in
So-
the handbook.
We can have a motion to accept this and make sure that we have that minimum age
So
included.
middle school and
Yeah.
high
Because it
school.
was supposed to be, 6 to 12.
Sounds good.
Okay, do I have a motion?
That would then include students into sixth grade.
Correct. They are technically in sixth grade once they finish fifth grade.
I will make a motion to accept this weight room policy with the addition of the age range being added into it.
Okay, I have a motion by Katie, seconded by Kelly. Any further discussion?
I think we should have somebody. Just. I don't know, follow up on this. I think we should check the numbers as they go to see how it goes.
I think that was the idea.
Well, I know, just do it,
Yeah. so I
maybe
didn't
check
do
it more like every couple of weeks and see if we might shut it down earlier if people don't show up, because. If we run it for so long and then nobody shows up for the first couple of months and we're just wasting.
Oh, you mean shut it down for the remainder of the summer?
Summer?
Yep, if it doesn't work for the first couple of months, I don't think you should run it for the whole summer if nobody's showing up. That's my opinion.
You'll have 3 kids in there for sure.
Well, I'm wondering though, if like,
Yeah, but that's just-
maybe
do it.
June works for me,
Yeah.
but then I have to go to another
I
parent's
can do
house,
that.
I mean, kids,
Yeah.
so maybe
Or I'm-
August would work for
Went
this
to
kid.
summer camp for June and I can't be there till July.
Yeah.
So what's the cutoff for it then?
It's really minimal. It's $3,000 for the summer.
On
It's
average.
it's fairly minimal on the cost side of things to just run it through and see what it is. But I hope that we are advertising it well enough
Yeah.
to the students so that it's not just the athletic students.
Right, well, we can't advertise yet because we haven't passed
Right.
it yet, but
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, I have no more questions. I think if it works, great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trial. Everybody understands that. It's a one-year trial. If it's not used, it won't happen again. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I lost my place and I gotta get back to it.
Wall of honor.
Wall of honor. Okay, so when we met at the annual meeting is when we appoint people to the wall of honor. And at that time, Diane Lund was appointed as the community member who basically runs the meeting. However, due to some health concerns, she is unavailable. So I have checked with various community members to try to find someone who might be willing to do this, but the board has to approve the person. And I did speak with Greg Hunter. I think pretty much everybody knows Greg. Greg is willing to do it this year. And then at the annual meeting, of course, we would vote for a person again. So personally, I would like to nominate Greg Hunter as the community member for the Wall of Honor. A motion by myself, seconded by Dave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Lisa, I did tell Greg I would let him know and to send him in to see you this week.
Okay.
Okay.
That you first did it and Dave seconded it?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
All right, meeting calendars. Budget, finance and personnel is tentatively April 15th at 4:15. Does that work for the people on that committee?
Are these gonna be new committees
These
by
will
then?
stay until after, so here's what
After
happens.
the April one.
At the April meeting, the ranking officer calls the meeting to order and immediately votes for the president, then that person will set the committees. But for this month, the committees stay the same, with the exception that I won't be on any committees because as of election date, I'll no longer be on the board. So budget and finance is,
Thought you finished the committee meetings. for the month.
You are finishing the committee meetings, right?
Well, if you want me to, but I won't be at the board meeting, so there's really no point, but. All right, I will if you want me to. You do. Okay, Dave, did for you. All right,
Well, I'm good with April 15th at 4:15 for
so am I. Who?
that one.
Dave, are you?
I'm good for April.
Okay, so that one stands.
Okay.
Building and grounds, April 11th at 3:30.
Yep.
For me.
Steve? Okay.
Yes.
Do we need, thank you, Steve. Do we need a policy meeting?
Can I ask? Okay,
Yes.
so I got back to the teachers. remember,
Yes.
with Nadine?
Oh, yes.
Can we coordinate that with, I scheduled with them, if you guys can do it, on April tenth, at what time?
3:30.
3:30. Can we have anybody from policy or?
I
even-
already said I can.
People that have already responded.
Oh, they have?
I sent out the invite, so, but I didn't hear back from Peggy.
Oh, if you sent it today, I haven't seen it yet. Okay.
So.
Sorry, I haven't.
It's that teachers group.
On what
Yeah,
day?
Would we just do that for policy meeting in April, or we need a separate one, or would we
No, I
need to
was
meet
just gonna use
after?
that. Yeah, I was gonna coordinate that with policy.
Okay, so then we may need to
I got
meet
a whole
after
bunch of
they
unless
meet
something
in case
comes-
there's,
yes.
okay, just.
If you guys are okay with
Trying to see
So
if I
it's
have.
Wednesday.
I want to say
it's
that
the
that
10th.
15th I can't
I
do.
can, if you send me a Zoom, I can
April 15th
try
I
to
can't do.
attend.
Well, I think it was only sent to policy committee members
Yeah.
on the board
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
today,
so-
so
okay.
it's,
The
but it doesn't
5th,
mean other
the
ones
10th,
can't.
I
the
can
rest you
do
Can come
that
to.
budget on the 15th I can't do, if you want me there,
We'll go
if you
back
don't
then.
care.
You should have got it.
I have a doctor's appointment. 3:30 in Rice Lake. There's no way I can be here by 4:15.
Just to be clear, I only sent it to the policy committee members.
Yeah, okay.
But the other ones can come if they.
Yeah,
want.
anyone
Yeah.
can come.
I just need to know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is there another day that works for that one then?
All right, but we're good for policy doing it on that Wednesday and
The
then we're
10th.
at the 10th. So we're gonna go back and revisit.
I'll talk to work tomorrow. Right now, no, I'm not. but
Oh.
I'll see what I can do.
But we got Jamie
Would it be?
and I can try on Zoom as long as I'm not out.
You just wouldn't be there till 4:15.
And I,
For policy.
That day I
Okay.
work till 4:30.
I'll be in the.
So
Okay.
I will have to try to-
So,
Teachers came in.
sorry, but we have to go backwards to budget and finance.
All right, fire me, I'm cool with that.
You can't do the 15th.
I can't do the 15th. I have a doctor's appointment.
I'd have to try to take shifts and see if I can get done early.
I was really excited because I was like, the first time you guys would think one that I could. really-
I know, I was thinking I didn't need to be there, so I wasn't worried about my
Oh, we
appointments,
need
but
to.
And we don't want to do it earlier.
When are we?
What do you mean
having
earlier?
after
Earlier in the
board
month.
meeting?
I don't care.
Well,
27th.
but it's budget stuff.
And what, isn't there? a-
Doesn't matter for you.
Yeah.
What about
Okay.
April 19th?
What day is that?
It's a
Craft or
Friday.
concert.
On a Friday.
No, I would not.
There's a
do-
lot of
okay,
us who's trapped on Mondays.
I can do
You guys
the
don't
18th.
Understand how.
I can do the 18th. Can you do it Thursday, the 18th?
Not with your time. Never mind. I lied.
Oh,
No,
no,
I lied. Unless we did it, because you can't do it during the day.
I can't do it during the day.
Oh, then baseball. Baseball? Teacher baseball?
You want to do it? We need to do it before the meeting
I
though.
love
So,
Mondays and Fridays.
well, can we do it on the 8th?
Laura?
She said it didn't
Yes.
matter.
Sure.
Okay,
I'm open up.
okay. You're gonna send those to me, right, Lisa? Because I've already forgotten.
So that's, you
Okay.
guys are switching
We'll
your
just-
budget meeting to.
Till the 8th
The 8th,
at 4:15.
4:15.
If I can use this full those off, it's the middle of the week that will really get me.
I'm having Tuesday, I don't know which Tuesday in April yet, so.
Okay,
So you guys are flexible with what information we present in terms of the treasurer's report, right?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. We understand. We're the ones moving
We
it.
got right here.
Okay.
We've got budget and finance on Monday, April 8th at 4:15.
yes.
Yes,
We've got buildings and grounds on Thursday, April 11th at 3:30.
yes.
Yep.
We have policy as a working meeting on Wednesday, April 10th at 3:30.
And everybody is invited if they
I
want.
have a question on that one, though. So say, since it's policy, and you're for sure committed,
Mhm.
because Kelly doesn't know, I just want to make sure we have the quorum if we need to have it as an official policy meeting, that we have the policy committee members there if they're needed.
You'd have
Well,
two,
if we have to have policy items,
Okay.
she's saying.
but there'd be two of you.
Yeah, so we're fine.
That's 2 out of 3, so you're good.
Right, I'm just double checking that Peggy's still legit.
And
'cause
and
she's-
this is negotiating with the group. There won't be any formal decisions made. The board has to make all decisions in the end.
I just
Yeah.
going forward with, I mean, if
Let's
Kelly's gonna see if
3:30.
she can switch, but.
No.
Okay.
And regular is Monday, April 22nd at 6 PM.
Okay, what time did we say policy? I guess it is 3:30. I'll just have to take off. I'll figure it out. I'm just gone a lot in April. I have a lot.
Well, they've got some issues they want, and then we'd like to make these.
She could. All right. I'm looking for a motion to approve the bills for February 20th through March 18th.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Kelly, seconded by Katie to approve the bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. There are a couple of items for signature I have signed, Dave, and you have them now.
I've signed them.
Okay, so at this time, we'll convene to closed session under Wisconsin State Statute 19.851 CEFG to consider the employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, considerations of financial, medical, social, or personal information, and to confer with legal counsel
Meetings at 6 p.m.
who is rendering oral or written advice. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
I have a motion by Jamie, seconded by Dave. Dave, if you'd call the roll, please.
it. Kelly,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Steve. Just figured I'd get it.
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Peggy.
Yes.